The lion hopped on a tree, just inches away from getting swarmed by a large pack of deadly hyenas. His mate was not so lucky. She got surrounded quickly and the hyenas attacked her. She tried to fight, but was ripped to shreds, limb from limb. He stood in horror as they feasted on her corpse. He was frozen, unable to move. He didn't even know if his cubs met the same fate, since all of this was happening right in front of his den. The hyenas ate his mate's carcass down to the bones and laughed at him and ran off. All but one. It looked up at him for a while, then ran off. The lion stood high up in the tree, unable to move a muscle. Thinking the hyenas would ambush him, he waited for what seemed like an eternity until he felt that he had gone. He climbed down the tree. As he walked up to the den, his cubs appeared. He was relieved, but he felt a deep feeling of sorrow. The hyenas emerged from the jungle, man, and they quickly attacked the cubs. He woke up. It was morning. He looked down at the bloodstain and the bones. Then after a while, he climbed down. Walking to his den, the cubs ran out. He couldn't believe it, but they were real. They played around trying to cheer him up, but it didn't help much. He felt hunger. He knew his cubs were hungry too, so he went out hunting. But when he came back from his unsuccessful hunt, one of the cubs was missing. There was no signs of trouble, so he and the cubs went searching for it. They went to a creek and had a drink. Then they searched till night. They stopped to rest for the night. But the jungle was full of mysterious, unnerving sounds in these parts. They couldn't fall asleep. Finally, the cubs fell asleep. The lion stood awake, unable to sleep. In the middle of the night, a hyena stepped out of the shadow. He looked to his left. More of them appeared. He looked to his right. Others were creeping up. He looked behind him, and even more were closing in on him. He was stiff, frozen like ice. They devoured the cubs. He couldn't even blink, forced to watch the hyenas dying on his cubs. They looked at him, growled, snapped their teeth, and laughed at him. He woke up. It was just a dream. It was morning, so he and the cubs, they ran looking for another missing cub. He had only 2 cubs now. They were on the run looking for the last one, so they searched all day till night. They had to rest. They fell asleep fast out of sheer exhaustion. He was with his mate in front of the den, standing close face to face. So then she jumped into the creek. The cubs also jumped in. They were all having fun. All the cubs had grown a little, and he even had a new younger cubs. All sorts of animals started coming out of the jungle like a paradise. Animals started to fade away. He knew it was a dream, too good to be true. All of a sudden, he was alone in the dark. Eyes were everywhere, even popping out of his fur, all over his body. He freaked out, and all the hyenas appeared, started laughing at him. Their shrill laughter echoed throughout the jungle. He woke up. They walked till night and found a large tree. It had a scent of other lions, but he decided to sleep there anyway. He was tired, looking around. He thought about how magical this part of the jungle looked and felt. He slept good that night. When he woke up, they walked around the tree. There was a den. A lioness with some cubs came out of the bushes and approached them. He subdued her and devoured the cubs, ensuring his cubs would survive. Everything was good for a few days until one morning he stood in the front of his den watching. Another lion showed up, a smaller lion, ragged looking. A hyena was close by, but it ran off laughing. The lion ran up to him, charged him, then stopped inches away. They had a stare down. Then the fight was on, but that's another story.